I am deeply disappointed that the plaque honoring the men and women, the officers who responded to January 6th, has not been installed. The directive was passed into law in a bipartisan vote on 2022. It's been 4 years since that horrible day, and 2 years since the plaque was completed, was done. This is particularly alarming because many in this campus feel they have ownership. They gloat about the concept that they are deeply more patriotic than anybody else in this universe, and that in fact they have also a monopoly on the concept that they support law and order, but they fail consistently to honor the men and women that stood up to protect all of us in this room. My question is, what or who is preventing your office from installing the plaque as directed by law, honoring the men and women that protected us from a violent, angry, racist mob?
When making modifications on the House side of campus or on the House side of the Capitol building, past practice is that for modifications are directed by the office of the Speaker.
Has anybody instructed you in writing to make these modifications, or this is something that you took up on your own?
We have not received final instructions to install the plaque.
So you have not received instructions 2 years later to install the plaque. And who would instruct you to do that?
Mr. Espaillat, again, the past practice is that for any modifications would come from the office of the Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Austin. Just for the record, Mr. Chairman, we want to note that Mr. Austin has stated that the Speaker of the House of Representatives has not instructed him 4 years after this horrible attack and 2 years after we've had the plaque to install a plaque to honor the men and women that put their life in danger. This is outrageous. And we will continue on this side of the aisle to call for that plaque to be installed. Mr. Austin, last month, Mr. Grijalva, Raul Grijalva passed away, and he had a long fight with cancer. And as a ranking member of the Natural Resources Committee, he was an effective leader. During his tenure as a public servant, he proudly served the constituents in Arizona. And to honor his life and legacy, I would like to work with you to plant a cactus tree that was very dear and near to him on the Capitol campus. Do I have your commitment to do that?
Sir, we'd be honored to work with your office to work on it just as we are with all members. We'd be honored to.
Thank you, Mr. Austin, for your testimony. Dr. Hayden, there's been an effort to ban books in America. In fact, we've seen how Defense Secretary Hesse ordered the removal of almost 400 books from the Naval Academy Nimitz Library because the subject matter was seen as being related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. The books banned were the following, some of them. I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. Memorializing the Holocaust by Janet Jacobs. Imagine that. We don't want our new generations to know about the death camps during the Holocaust. Treblinka, Auschwitz, Buchenwald. And another book was Race, Ethnicity, and Disability, Veterans and Benefits in Post-Civil War America by Larry Long and Peter Blank. How would this type of policy impact the Library of Congress if you were directed to do the same there? How would it impair your mission to have information, to educate children and families across America?
As I mentioned earlier, the Library of Congress is unique among libraries because it serves all of Congress and all of the constituents that Congress serves. And so the continued growth of the library's collections have to reflect the breadth and the depth and the experiences of all of the American people. And so removing items from the Library of Congress's collection, as you described, would conflict with that mission and our mandate to provide a universal source of knowledge.
Just for the record, Mr. Chairman, I would like to note that this effort to ban books is nothing more than a modern book burning exercise. Thank you, and I yield back.